はい、皆さんこんばんは。今日はね、ちょっとだけラストの方やっていきたいと思います。
いや。
くるぶしを守らないと。今降りよう。速度もめ。立っとれって思うけどな、ほんま。よし。よし。残りはどこだ。こいつらか。やばい、負けてる。こっち来んな。紛れか。いいぞ。はい、こんばんは。いやー、明日休みだからね。ウェーイウェーイ。
Well,
The damage isn't too serious.
so we can shoot.
Not just yet.
Sir, what are we waiting for?
You've heard his threats, Robard. Do you want him to kill Radzik and my wife? We have to consider all our options.
And it would be a shame to destroy the castle, too. But how do we get that rat out of there?
Sir, I might have a solution. What about exchanging hostages? He was the captain at Vranjik, and he brought Istvan's reinforcements here. Seems to be on very, intimate terms with Toth. He might be able to tell us something. And he might even be as valuable to his lord as Lady Stephanie and my father are to us.
You're your father's son, by God.
You're a godsend, lad. You're right. We'll interrogate this whore son, and then decide what to do next. Come to my tent when you've rested.
Start talking, or make your peace with God.
Do your worst. I won't betray my lord.
Ah, Henry. Just the man I want. This fool would rather hang than sing. You know more about him than we do, so maybe you can get something out of him.
Well now, Eric. It is Eric, isn't it? Fuck you. You need to change your tone. If you start being not... Who is this Top?
He's an orphan, same as me. The Turks killed his parents, so he started killing Turks.
これは無理やな。
What is he after?
Are you really that clueless? To destroy...
Who does he take his order?
Are you stupid? He won't.
How many men does he have in it?
How should I know? There were nearly 70 of us at the...
How did you meet him?
What's that got to do with anything?
Listen to me. Toth has...
Do you take him for a fool? Do you really think he'd give up the only thing he...
You better pray he will, for your own sake. Because once we attack, you'll be worthless to us. I won't waste any more time on you. You could have saved yourself.
I don't need to save myself. Ishtavan will save me.
Why should he save you? He'll sacrifice you, just like everyone in Vranyik.
You don't know anything. He'll come to me, and anyone...
Now I'm curious. Why would he care that?
You never understand.
For a while there, I thought we'd get nothing out of him.
I thought you were much too easy on him. But it seems you're a... Anyway, it's clear that young fellow is no ordinary brigand. And he believes Toth cares about him. We'll just have to see if the bastard cares as...
Well, Divish, I think the time has come to find out just how much Toth values our hostage. Do you want to parley with him yourself?
I think I'll leave that to you, Hamish.
So be it. I'll do my utmost. Bring the hostage below the battlements.
Sir Istvan!
What is it? Did our neighborly visit catch you unprepared?
A little, but we've settled in nicely. And this fellow is enjoying our company so much, we simply can't get rid of him. It seems we are in similar situations. Perhaps it's time to send our respective guests home.
Not a chance. Do you take me for a fucking fool? Be warned. If anything happens to Eric, I'll let every manjack here have his way with this bitch, and I'll dice Kobila into goulash meat.
Nobly spoken, your grace. But for all I know, you may have done that already.
Divish, I'm sorry.
Greetings, friends. Fear not, Lord Toth is treating us like royalty.
They're unharmed, as you can see. But don't try any tricks, or they won't be for long, Hanush.
It seems your lord doesn't place any great value in you, boy.
Go to hell. I'm sorry. It looks like it's not going to be that easy.
Well, at least we know they're alive. I didn't expect much of it anyway.
He won't harm them as long as we have this fellow.
이케맨네.
Well, friends, what do you suggest?
I'd say we have no choice but to attack.
It's a great risk, Robard, with Stephanie and Radzig inside.
I know how you feel, sir, but Toth is no fool. They are his last safeguard. He will do nothing to harm them until he is sure of victory.
Would you be saying that if it were your wife inside?
Or your father?
Well, let me point out that we have no choice anyway. We don't have enough supplies to keep men here for weeks, while gangs of brigands and Sigismund's army roam the countryside. Toth won't agree to an exchange, and even if he did, we'd have to let him go. With all his men, he'd be a thorn in our sides till Judgment Day.
Sir, a message has arrived.
Oh, what is it?
Margrave Jobst is approaching with his retinue and wants to speak with you.
Jobst, you say? All right.
What is he doing here?
Who's Jobst?
Jobst of Luxembourg is cousin to King Wenceslaus and Sigismund. He's the Margrave of Moravia.
Only a year ago, he was collaborating with Sigismund and the League of Lords. He betrayed King Wenceslas and his ally Prokop. Now, he's changed sides, appointed himself the leader of the rebellion against Sigismund, and wants to liberate Wenceslas.
Whichever way the wind blows.
Nevertheless, it seems the decision is made for us. We don't want Jobst camping with us in front of our own castle like a band of gypsies.
I'm afraid you're right, Hanish. All right. We'll let the men rest a while, and then attack. Come to me when everything is ready.
攻撃するのか。腹パンは危ないよ。すげえなんかチクチクができてる。
God be with you.
What do you think of Master?
He definitely knows what he's doing. And all that while...
Do you think there's any truth?
I've never seen such weapons used.
There was
That's how it goes in war. But God stood by us. And in the end...
Well, they're apt to wait till a man nips off into the bushes to relieve himself, lifts up his chainmail...
Because you know just who you're up against. That's... Goodbye.
The Lord be praised.
We came just in time.
Quite. I thought my last hour had come. But Lord Capon came to our defense and fought like a lion.
I think more people will be changing their mind.
They should. I hope. God be with you.
ハスカポンそんなことしてた。この戦いを終わらせるか。ああ、足折れちゃった。
God be with you, lad. What could... Goodbye.
なぜこいつらはうろうろしている鎧も着ずに戦闘中なんだ。
I'm glad you came.
Uh-huh.
And it seems I'm about to give the order, and since it's mainly thanks to you that we still have
I'd be delighted.
to smash my castle,
Sorry, sir. I didn't mean it.
there's nothing to it. The men will load the trip. All you have to do,
Well, I suppose I could...
then we'll bomb. Sir Robard, good luck to you.
レバーを引いたらレバーを引いたら終わりだ。ああ、ここ見えない壁があるんだった。
Yeah! Yeah!
Load the trebuchet.
レバーってどれね。
I'd like to get back.
Sir,
I'm interested...
wouldn't you rather...
Well, I'll...
Take care now.
Good day to you.
How are things with...
It's a shit pot.
Sorry to hear it.
I only pray we kill every last one of them. Good luck to you.
リロードし始めた。石持ってきてる。こんな重たい石が飛ぶんやね。すごいな。 ついに。さあセーブしていくか。いけ。おお、当たった当たった。ビヨンビヨンしてる。
Divish said,
Sir,
Sir Divish.
I will go
That's all.
for a few days at least. So if you have anything to attend to, see you later.
The Lord be praised.
We made it in.
We failed. That serpent from Valdic gave us the slip. I should have known he'd had his fingers in it all.
逃げられた。
Would you kill him?
Maybe. But before that, I'd throw him in the dungeon for a few years. See how much he enjoys. Just thinking about it. God be with you.
What do you think you're doing? Well, I have a mind to call the guards.
ちゃんとギアついてる。
Damn.
もう出んのかな。おお。すげえ。
Greetings.
We came at the last.
True. I feared the worst. I had to flee. But as for our misfortunate Master Fafer, I fear you may have come.
That is too bad.
Yes, Sir Capon took fright. Understandably for someone his age. But not
あ、翻訳うまい。翻訳やばみ。寝るか。 夜は休戦するんかな。いや、想定してんな。夜もつんか。見える見える。お、めっちゃ白い桃が出てる。全然白崩れてなくね。一体どこに当たったの。
Is something the matter?
A few of them have taken to their heels. If they stop in Kutenberg, I'll be glad enough. But I fear that...
If those were the best of Istvan's men, they could be lurking in the woods. They'll probably wait till it's...
My fear until Toth is hanging from the gate. But in the meantime, I'll be glad to know that...
Of course, Sir Eivor. Would you like me to bring back...
That's not necessary. I trust you, Hal. You... Good luck to you.
そんなには。
Yeah. Yeah.
朝にしよう。ちょっと見えねえわ。 キャンプあるんかな。あった。これか。いや、これいけるか。そんなのある？あ、なんか印があったな。洞窟？
What are you doing here?
資料番人か。
What do you think?
The bloody insolence. A poacher owning up to it without that.
Look here. Can't we fix...
A fine? Forget it. Jail is the...
Suppose...
The law is quite... open.
安い。
Right. You pick...
Thanks.
資料番人なんておるんやね、こんな。
Yeah!
通り過ぎた。これかな、煙出てると。
Yeah!
あったあった。ついでに潰しちゃおう。やえち。敵いなくない？全然。
Answer to my prayers. Just when I wanted to
Die,
rest
die,
my
die, die.
razor. Oh, weak in the knees, Hunter.
でやぶさめで倒すか。
You're in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Ya na.大したの持ってないな。外した。全然敵いない。さっきどこ行った？何もいない。次行くか。B。B 取るやろ。これかな。 誰か吊るされてる。やべえ、穴はまった。もっと向こうか。これか。戦ってる。くそ、当たらん。よし。助けな。
What are you doing here?
All slaughtered.
Fucked up there.
Jesus Christ!
逃がさん。どこ行った？なんで衛兵いたんだろう。見つけたらもう自動で戦ってくれるのかな。 セーブはできんのか。これかな。
やや
痛い。しぐる。薬飲も
う。ややや
やってんな。お、強盗がいるぞ。気のせいか。気のせいやな。塞いでないか。
や
めっちゃ引っかかんなこれ。寝てるわ。
So, you're the she-turner. Now you're in deep shit. You'll get one for.
余裕すぎる。 はセーブできるのか。
I found all of that camp.
That's a relief.
I'm here.
Can't you see we're still bomb?
城全然壊れてないじゃん。屋根も落ちてないし。2日か。あと何時間やろ。わかった。なんで声ちっちゃいんやと思った。マイク横向いてたわ。それ入んないわ。2日経ったかな。
I'm here.
Can't you see we're still... See you later.
お、できた。
Since Sir Divish's colours still aren't flying over Talmberg, I suppose we'll be attacking.
Just so.
All right.
There's no reason to wait. Are you really ready? You won't have another chance until we've won the day. Or until...
I have to deal with some...
All right. God be with you.
さあ、鎧を洗って。1時間寝るか。よっしゃ。ああ、また寝ちゃった。寝ない。
Are we? There's no reason to wait. You won't have another.
I'm ready.
Glad to hear it. We're going to attack on two fronts. The north, the attack will be split into different stages. Taking the outer walls, the inner bailey, and finally...
How are we going to attack?
We'll try to do as much damage as we can, even if that's true. We'll have to charge through a downpour of enemy arrows.
Portcullis?
Fortunately, it's wooden, so we'll be able to break it down. But dealing with the...
And what's the plan for attacking the...
First, we have to get men to the wall, which is no easy matter under fire. So we'll need as many men as soon as the ladders are in place, or once a few of them get to the battle.
How will we take the battle?
Either by scaling the west wall, or our men at the gate.
And the inner bay?
That will be tough. Even if we get through the gate, the castle is designed so we'll be like hens in a coop to anyone with a bow on the inner battle. We'll have to either fight our way through, or somehow get around them.
What about the living?
There, I'm worried most about the hostages. Once we're inside...
I think I've heard.
Do you want to join the attack on the walls or on the gate?
I'll help with the attack.
I'm proud of you, Henry. And as God is my witness.
A village, lad.
Just one last thing, though. No matter how, keep your eyes open and take advantage of every... We have to take the castle gradually.
I'll remember that.
Good luck to you.
Good luck to you.
Goodbye.
ハンスめっちゃいい鎧着てんな。すげえ。やべえ、こんなとこめっちゃ撃たれるやん。 当てた？俺も使える。どうなってんの？うわ、敵だらけ。いいぞ。今だ。いいぞ。やっちまえ。お、全滅した。縦邪魔やな。ああ、兵士がやられた。一人。よし。いいぞ、やっちまえ。回収しねえとな。矢を回収したい。着実に数を減らす。やがねえ、もう。俺の矢はどこへ行った？人質とこだ。 連続突き。死体の山で生きてる。これハンスか、もしかしてこの鎧。
Sir, we should give the order.
Let's see if Istvan Toth can worm his way out of this one.
Don't tempt fate, Hanush.
Istvan! It's over! You want us to come and get you?
I wouldn't advise that. Your friend Divish wants to see his wife alive again.
And Sir Radzig? Are both hostages unharmed?
For now, Hanush, unless circumstances change.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. My guest is also safe and sound, but he's also quite keen to go home. I imagine you feel the same way. It's been a long time since you warmed yourself at your own hearth.
I'm in no hurry. I've plenty of supplies here, grand view and excellent company. What more could I want?
Your freedom!
Freedom? Freedom to get an arrow in the back?
Sir, you're all noblemen here. All bound by honor. I give you my word as a knight and lord, and that of my companions. If you release Lady Stephanie and Sir Radzig, you may leave the castle with your men and go on your way unharmed.
And just how far will we get? What good will it do me if your men attack us in the woods instead of here?
If you give me your word of honor that you will leave and never return, I promise you safe passage to the boundary of this fiefdom. What happens after that is up to you and the will of God Almighty.
Very well then, but I want a small safeguard. I'll give you her ladyship. But Radzig comes with me. I'll release him in Skalitz.
Out of the question! Is our word not good enough for you?
Is mine not good enough for you? I swear I'll release him when I get to a safe distance.
I'll go with him, Hanush. Let the Lady Stephanie have her freedom now.
Father!
Don't worry, son. I trust Lord Toth's self-interest more than his word. He wouldn't be fool enough to harm me.
If you're certain, Radzig.
Prepare horses and supplies, and tell your men to pull back. We'll come down.
You heard him. Get to work. And any man who breaks this truce answers to me.
So, are you really going to let them go?
My word is my bond, Henry.
He's a cutthroat and a liar. Good men are dead because of him. What's to stop us from skewering him as soon as he sets foot outside?
Our honor.
If you let him go, he'll do the same again. Or worse.
God's justice will find him. Then, you'll get a taste of my mace.
If we break our word of honor, we have none. And without honor, we are nothing.
Never fear. Your father will be all right.
We'll hunt down those vermin yet.
Bring the horses.
Here she is, as I promised. Not a hair on her head harmed.
Divish,
Stephanie.
forgive me, husband. I'm sorry
For what?
for letting them into the castle.
Come now, my dear. You're not to blame.
I didn't know who he was. He said he was your friend.
Never mind. Did he hurt you?
No.
I hope your word can be trusted.
Certainly more than yours.
If everything goes as agreed, I'll set Radzik free in Skalitz. If anyone tries to follow us, I'll kill him.
We won't.
My apologies for keeping you from your father, but you'll see each other soon enough. Oh, I almost forgot. Your sword. I expect you'll want it back after all the trouble you went to. Actually, you know what? I think I'll keep it. As a memento.
This isn't over. I'll find you.
I look forward to it. Yeah!
Quick! To the battlements! We have to see which way they go! Oh, they really are heading for Skalitz. Mount up, Henry.
You've heard what he'll do if we follow them.
We're not going to follow them. We just have to collect your father. Or do you want him to walk back here when they release him?
Yeah.
迎えに行くっていうか追跡してんじゃん。
What do you mean?
How long have we known each other? A few weeks?
Something like that.
Before that, I was chasing wenches around Ratte and you were digging turnips. And now look at us. A pair of veterans.
I was an apprentice blacksmith, not a turnip digger.
Same difference, you silly bugger. The way you found Tom, sneaking into Brannick all on your own. Well, what I mean is, hats off to you, Hal. You wouldn't catch me doing that.
Truth is, I didn't think much about it. I just felt I had to do it.
ああ、はまった。
Yeah.
あ、どこ行った？
What will you do now?
Not long ago, I only made plans 3 days ahead at most. Maybe I really could do something for Ratte and its
Yeah.
people. Something really big. But there'll be plenty of time for that later.
What should I say to him?
Don't worry. It'll come to you. You'll see.
Well, I just hope he'll be there. Alive. He's a noble, right?
Yes. So am I. There's no sign of them. Move on. Glad to see Istvan kept his word, sir.
Not half as glad as I am, Your Grace.
Well, we kept our word too. And now Toth has had his head start and he's fair game. Which way do they go?
To the north, but I would be careful, Sir Hans.
Fear not, Your Grace. I've twice as many men as he. Well, I won't keep you any longer. I'm sure the two of you have a lot to say to each other. Let's go!
Father?
I am. They treated me quite decently. Although they did steal my horse, so I'll have to go back on foot.
It looks like it's all over.
Not by a long shot. It won't be over until we get this mess cleared up.
And catch that bastard. How could we let him go?
Would you rather we killed him? Even if it meant Lady Stephanie and I died too?
No, of course not. But what was to stop us from killing him after the exchange?
Honor?
Honor?
If the word of honor of a nobleman could not be trusted, then he would never have agreed to the exchange.
Where's the honor in abandoning your son?
You know how it is. We were young. It happened. And I couldn't marry a commoner. Then your father, Martin, came along and took care of both of you.
He knew it.
What? That I was your father? Certainly. He was a great man. He took you as his own. And always kept an eye on you. Of that you can be sure.
I know so little about his past.
He told you nothing? Oddly enough, even though you don't have his blood, you're very like him. When he was around your age, he became bored of his trade and set out to see the world. He lived through many adventures, even fought in a war.
In a war?
Yes, in Poland, I believe. And I don't think he cared much for it.
That's why he wanted me to stay at home.
He spent some time in Prague, then settled in Kuttenberg. But it seems he quarreled with someone there and finally ended up here. You know the rest.
I loved him, but even so, I somehow always had a feeling I didn't quite fit in.
It was in your blood, I suppose.
I lost the one thing I had left from him. Your sword.
Ah. The sword. It's not my sword. It's yours. For a moment there, it was so near, yet so far. Oh well, it can't be helped.
It was almost within my grasp, but just then I had something else on my mind.
Well, I think we may yet have a chance to get it back. This business with Toth is not yet over, unfortunately.
That's a chance I'd welcome. Not just to get the sword, but that bastard Istvan too. And then I'll find that German whoreson who torched Skalitz, and I'll slay him with it. I'll never forget his face. Or his name. Mark Vart von Aulitz.
Those are noble intentions, son. But don't forget there are other things in this world that are worth living for.
Like what?
Look around you. Blue skies overhead, green grass underfoot, beautiful girls. Good wine, a few good friends, and a fine steed under your backside. Those are things worth living for. Though I can't deny that swine who killed your mother must pay for what he did. But it's better not to dwell too much on that at the cost of those other things. On the subject of steeds, I think we'll have to ride like the Knights Templar.
How's that?
2 up. One day I'll tell you how they got their seal. You can take the front. It's like I always imagined it would be, teaching my boy to ride. Although it would be better if you were a little smaller. My word, it's all go today, isn't it? I wonder who this is.
I think I know. It's Margrave Jobst.
The king's cousin? I wonder what he wants. I guess we'll find out soon enough.
あ、今度終わりかやっぱ。いやー、いいゲームだったな。神ゲーですわ。飛ばせるんかな。飛ばせた。
You're doing well, son.
Father.
Come now. You know whose side you.
That doesn't matter now. I miss you, Amar. I miss you very much.
You'll be fine. We're proud of you.
down. I lost the sword. I let that bastard get away.
Don't be so hard on yourself. There was nothing you could have done to save us. And someone has to live and carry the torch. As for the sword, it's just a thing.
You didn't want me fighting.
Now look at me. Standing up to evil isn't the same as sowing its seeds. You did what was right. I have to leave you now.
Oh, please.
You know I can't stay.
Will I ever see you again?
God knows. Make her proud.
Don't go.
Oh, don't go. No.
What on earth were you dreaming about? I couldn't wake you, and it's well past dawn. Sir Radzik wants you at the upper castle. The lords are in council with Yobst.
Right. I'll go straight away.
What is it?
It's just... I don't know how to address you anymore. All of a sudden you're Sir Radzig's son, hobnobbing with lords and ladies. And here's me, as common as muck.
Oh, give over, you idiot. Do I look like a lord to you?
Not really. You're as much a lord as I am a nun. And I've never looked good in a habit.
Get out of here! Or I'll have you clapped in the stocks.
에피로그があるんか。
Ah, Hal. Are you going to the meeting with Margrave Jobst as well?
I am. What about Istvan? I assume...
That we didn't catch him? No. Because if we had, you'd be the first one to know. Have no fear.
We'll get him eventually.
I hope you're right. Anyway, let's go and see what Jobst wants from us.
My lords, Christ's blessings on you all.
And on you, Lord Capon.
And this is my son, Henry.
I didn't know you had a son, Sir Redzig.
Came as a bit of a surprise to young Henry, too.
This gentleman here is John II of Liechtenstein, a member of my council.
I'm honored, gentlemen.
Come join us. Margrave Jobst was just about to tell us the reason for his visit. Your Grace?
I'm sure we're all agreed, Your Graces, that all this unrest must come to an end. This kingdom needs a king.
Question is, which king?
My cousin, Wenceslas IV, who is being held in captivity.
I have to confess, my lord, that your answer surprises me a little. If I'm correctly informed, until recently you sided with your other cousin, Sigismund.
That I cannot deny, and I have always stated my position plainly. But times have changed.
How have they changed, Your Grace?
Sir, there is one thing on which we undoubtedly concur. That King Wenceslas, unfortunately, did not inherit his father's gift for governing. Sadly, his failures have cost Bohemia, the nobles, and our whole Luxembourg family a great deal of money and effort.
How did the king let it go so far, damn it?
It's in his temperament. He cares only for wine, women, and the hunt. A king, in fact, who never wanted to be king.
Then why didn't he just let his brother have the crown?
Young son, the crown weighs heavy when there are duties to be performed, but to surrender it means giving up great privileges too.
But he did surrender power to his brother. When things started getting out of hand, Wenceslas appealed to Sigismund for help in restoring order.
What, you're saying Wenceslas has invited him here?
This is starting to make my head spin.
Actually, it makes sense when you think about it. Sigismund wanted to re-establish the power of the whole House of Luxembourg. He thought if he helped Wenceslas win the imperial crown, in return his brother would help him become the king of the Romans, and leave the actual reign of Bohemia and the empire to him. Sigismund would govern, while Wenceslas could carry on doing what he was best at, enjoying the life of the imperial court.
Why wasn't Wenceslas crowned Holy Roman Emperor long ago? He was already elected king of the Romans. All he had to do was go and let the Pope put the damn imperial crown on his head.
Who knows? Maybe he'd prefer hunting and consorting with bathhouse wenches to spending time with the Pope.
Well, so would I must admit.
Sigismund's plan seemed sound enough, but it didn't quite work out, did it?
It worked for a while. He and his brother reached an agreement. Sigismund took over administration of the kingdom and began planning Wenceslas's journey to Rome for the imperial coronation. But then Wenceslas realized he would just be a puppet with a crown.
I must say, Margrave Jobst, Wenceslas and Prokop behave rather like naughty children in need of a good clout about the ears.
Sigismund would agree. He was already planning his rule of Bohemia, and all of a sudden, the rug was pulled from under him. I'd say he lost his patience and decided he'd drag Wenceslas to the coronation kicking and screaming if he had to. Just like a naughty child, as you say.
So he abducted him and your brother Prokop too, if I heard correctly.
Correct.
And you helped him do it, if I heard correctly.
Yes, your graces, it's true. I was there when Sigismund abducted Prokop. I thought everything could somehow be settled, that we could make my brother see sense. But Sigismund just wanted to put an end to the dispute once and for all, whatever the cost. There was nothing I could do to stop him. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here. The worst of it is that it was all for nothing. Instead of putting a stop to the revolt, it escalated it, and the result is this chaos we have today.
That's true enough, sir. But I must admit now, I'm not sure what your position is. The king is incompetent, but we must protect him?
The simple truth, gentlemen, is that for all of Wenceslas's faults, we have no one else.
So we'll have to make do with his idleness.
People like him, though.
But what can we do now? Sigismund has the League of Lords behind him. Otto von Bergholf, Heinrich von Rosenberg.
The situation has gotten completely out of control. Now even the nobles of the League of Lords are realizing that Sigismund wasn't the right choice.
So now Berghof is on your side. Are we to assemble an army together with him and face Sigismund on the field of battle?
We're not in Hungary now. Such affairs may be settled elegantly, without unnecessary hostilities or expenses. I have negotiated an alliance with the Hungarian bishops, the Polish, and of course the Czech nobility, against Sigismund. Every day he is losing the ground under his feet, and that's why I need your help too.
What kind of help, though? Sigismund has a massive army, and Rosenberg, Berghof, and Prague are behind him. Do you have an army you could face him with?
But that's not what I mean at all. There's been a revolt against Sigismund in Hungary, partly due to my efforts. And now he'll have to choose whether he wants to gain the Bohemian crown, which is a very risky enterprise, or hold on to the Hungarian one. He can't have both. And there's a tough struggle awaiting him in Hungary. I'm not sure he'll win, and Rosenberg and Berghof know it too. They're not stupid. If the Bohemian nobility stands together, they will turn.
We are men of little consequence, Margrave. Radzig here lost everything because of his alliance with Wenceslas. Sir Divish came within a hair of the same fate. Even Rattay is defenseless against Sigismund and the League of Lords.
What's more, your grace, King Wenceslas languishes in captivity in Vienna. He can't rule too well from there.
And what do you propose? To sit with your arms folded till the Bohemian lands are turned to ashes like Skalitz? We have to put a stop to this senseless war!
And do you know, sir, what the true position of the League of Lords is?
I'm not on the best of terms with them at this moment, so you'll have to ask them yourselves.
Yes. Why not? I'll go and visit Berghof at his castle and we'll see what he tells me.
You know, that's not such a bad idea, young sir.
True. Though a little risky.
I doubt Berghof would harm a blue-blooded envoy. And you can find out what he has to say about developments and what the League of Lords is planning. Then we'll decide what to do next.
I'll help you compose a letter to him.
I'd like Henry to come with me.
Why not? He's proven himself an able investigator, and he'll also be a good bodyguard if anything should happen.
And I'll send Sir John here to Kuttenberg to be my eyes and ears there. I believe both your reports will help us get a better grip on the situation.
When can you set out?
Just as soon as I've packed my things.
Excellent. Margrave Jobst and I will draft the letter. Get ready, and we'll meet back here.
やべえ、最後のちょっとうとうとしてたわ。
Be best to write it in your name as Lord of Liber.
Quite so, Margrave.
What exactly am I to write?
Oh, what isn't really the issue? The question is how. We need to learn.
So?
Yes?
I don't want to dampen your spirits, my boy, but watch out. These are evil.
Don't worry.
I know. You've shown you can fend for yourself, but dude, you'll be there to make sure nothing untoward happens to him. Keep your eyes peeled and your ears...
Rest assured, Father.
And don't get embroiled in anything else. Just hand over the letter.
Yes.
Very well. Berghof is at Trotsky Castle. It's 3 days' ride from here, so unless you hit a snag along the way...
I'm getting a bit...
The Luxembourg. Wenceslas, but instead, Wenceslas...
I don't know all that.
He's the king's younger brother and king of Hungary. Some say Sigismund is ambitious and capable. He might... Not long ago, he himself was held captive by the Hungarian nobility. They dislike him as much as some of the Czech and German noblemen do his brother Wenceslas. Ironically, Wenceslas joined forces with Jobst to liberate him. And now this is how Sigismund repays his brother. There's no doubt...
Who is he really?
The cousin of King Wenceslas. He's the Marg... Until recently, he was allied with the League of Lords. For a time, he even served Rupert of the Palatinate. I don't know what led him to do it, and one can't help being suspicious. But he really is the leader of the resistance against Sigismund the...
Rupert of the...
Rupert is the...
What's a prince-elect?
The prince-electors are dignitaries of the Holy Roman Empire who have the... Some of the nobility in the empire. So...
That young man said...
The Liechtensteins are a powerful... Since the... They abducted the... But now...
話が長い。
Who's... I'm a bit...
But he can be very fiery and impetuous when things don't. You can't just...
That's about all.
Very well. So what do you think of it all, Sir Divish? I think... If I didn't know anything about the arts, it's right.
I believe we have written it well, gentlemen.
Without a doubt. No one could deduce from this whether we are Sigismund's allies or foes.
I must travel back to Brno now, but soon I will go to Brandenburg and I will stop here on the way back. By then, Sir Capon should be back and we can discuss how to proceed.
Right. Before you leave, my lord, there is one thing that gives me no rest. Why did Sigismund come as a foe? It makes no sense.
If I may, sir, I think I can explain.
Oh, please enlighten us, young sir.
I live not far from Hungary, where Sigismund reigns. It is a savage country, and the constant war with the Turks has hardened the people. They need a monarch with an iron hand. So when Sigismund felt the wind of revolt, he reacted as he would at home. Only what works on the Hungarian nobles does not work here in Bohemia.
Bringing order is one thing, but slaughtering and pillaging with a horde of barbarians quite another. What purpose does that serve?
But Sigismund did give the Bohemian nobles a chance to take his side. It was only when they refused his ultimatum that he lost patience and took to the sword.
As for the barbarians, he could afford nothing better. The Hungarian nobility would gain nothing from joining his campaign in Bohemia. He didn't have enough coin for a regular army, and so he recruited the Cumans. What he does not pay them, they make up for in plunder.
But in the end, he didn't have enough to even satisfy the Cumans. That's why he raided Kuttenberg and Skalitz. He wanted the silver.
That makes sense.
My lords, how's the letter coming along?
It's done.
Then we can be on our way.
Now remember what we said, boy. All you have to do is deliver the letter, listen to the answer, and come back here. Don't provoke Berghoff in any way.
Provoke? Me? Never, Uncle. We'll be back in a few days. Farewell, your graces. Come, Henry, my men are waiting.
I wish you Godspeed.
終わった。終わっちまったのか。
Ah. Ugh. Ugh.
眠い。というわけでね、今日は終わろうと思います。それではまた次回やるんかな。次回さよなら。